Hello, I wanted to go over how to set up your Zoom in your classes so that the recordings will automatically be there for your students. So first of all, there's two different ways to set up settings. One is to go to zoom.us and sign in with your ACES username, and it should be I believe it's the password to your computer or your ACES password. And what you're going to do is your personal meeting room is where you can set up all of your requirements. It's got your personal meeting ID. I use a waiting room, and you can go through all the different settings one by one to see what you would like to do. So you can embed a passcode in the invite link for a one-click join. You can, if waiting room is enabled, phone-in users can come into the waiting room. That's up to you. Schedule meeting. I start the videos for the participants and myself upon the beginning of the meeting, so I don't have to tell everybody to turn on their cameras. It's an automatic thing. Audio type. I allow them to join before the recording or before the classes start by 10 minutes. You can use a personal meeting ID if you want assigned to your account, and that's automatically on, I believe. And then I also usually use my personal meeting room for every meeting because I can remember it and I can text it to people and I don't have to go look up a different meeting number. I mute everyone coming into a meeting, and that way you don't hear a bunch of noise. You can set it up for a meeting reminder. I do require encryption. Allow them to chat. I save the chat. I have it to where it makes a sound if somebody comes in or leaves the meeting, so I can pay attention to that. So if you're in the middle of class and someone gets kicked out, I can let them back in. You can allow for files to be uploaded, feedback to Zoom. So you want to just kind of go through all of this. I allow them to co-host because I may have them show me their screen or something. Allow for meeting polls. So you want to walk through all of these. I allow screen sharing for everyone, but I also make it to where I can interrupt them. If they're sharing their screen and I need to break in, I can do that. Look, I also allow for annotation so I can draw on the screen. I allow for whiteboard. I also allow for remote control. So if a student's having trouble, I can ask them through Zoom, can I take control of your computer? If they say yes, then I can actually work their computer from this end. So you want to go through all of these and see what you're okay with. I allow for breakout rooms. And then you can allow here for one-to-one remote support to another participant. I am not 100% sure on that one. Closed captioning. Save the captions. Background filters. You want to allow for the background use of virtual backgrounds. I use the video filters, and that's a stereo, join from the browser link. There's so much they've added. Okay, when a cloud recording is available, notify the host, send a copy to the person who scheduled the meeting, send a copy to alternative host. Actually, I do get an email. This also tells me if they've gone into the classroom when I wasn't in there. Just have all the email ones on. And then this is to blur a snapshot if there's private or sensitive information. So that is everything that's under this setting. So you want to look at those. The other thing is, once you're in the course, make sure you've got your Zoom link in the menu. And to do that, you go to settings, you go to navigation, and if Zoom is down here, you just drag it up and put it into the menu, come down and hit save. So when you go into Zoom, here's a list of upcoming meetings. There's a couple ways that you can set it up for your classes to automatically see them and to automatically be able to see the recordings without you having to post them every week. So under your personal meeting room, here's your personal meeting room ID and link. I do have the waiting room already set up from the other template or the other settings. You want to make sure that you have record the meeting automatically in the cloud checked. If I schedule a new meeting, I can make this my actual classroom, Zoom classroom. You can put a description, meet here for class. Set up the time, how long it's going to be, And if I don't want a meeting date for every meeting, I just want to have my one classroom that they're going to go into. This is all. I'm not going to hit recurring. You can require passcode. I don't. I put them in the waiting room so I can see who they are before I let them in. You can also do an authentication to join, and I have not done that. I have video on for everyone, and then I make sure record the meeting automatically in the cloud. You have to make sure that's on. I use my personal ID for every meeting, but that's my choice, and hit save. Okay, so when we go back to Zoom, upcoming meetings, here it is. So even if I start this meeting, and let's say we're letting it record for a few minutes so we can have something there. And then we're going to end the meeting. And then we're going to go back to the classroom. I'm going to refresh. The meeting's still there. And we go to cloud recording. Here's the recording. There's two here because I've been playing with it. So you can see that you can tell your students, you can either just have one that's going to stay here, and then they can go to the cloud recordings and see each class in here, or you can set it up to where you go to schedule a meeting. You can say this is, however you want to put this Zoom session. Then I can put that it's going to be recurring weekly. And let's say I want a Monday, Wednesday class, and you set up the time you want. I'm doing my waiting room. I make sure that the recording the meeting automatically in the cloud is on and hit save. It will then populate under upcoming meetings. There will be a date for every class. So the students can just go and click on the appropriate date for that class and be in the Zoom meeting. And then you already have them labeled by date. You don't have to do anything. And as they occur, then they will also move over under the cloud recordings with those dates as well. So it's just your preference. But either way, then you can tell the students, always go under the cloud recordings to see previous classes, and you don't have to remember to post something every week. It's automatically there. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you and have a great day.